So, my dear friends, I'm happy to be back from the Kailash Mansarovar, and we are going to have a heart-to-heart discussion as to what the pilgrimage is about, and if you have any questions regarding the pilgrimage, we can discuss that. But a little perspective from my side. So when I had booked myself for Kailash Mansarovar, I had said to myself that, this is God, this is my final yatra. I'm coming to your abode. So I consider Lord Shiva and Ma Parvati as my father and my mother. So I said, God, I'm coming home, and that's it. You take care of the rest of the things. And there's actually nothing in this world that really entices me anymore. And I don't know if there's anything that I need to come back to. So with that bhav, as the final yatra, I had gone, actually surrendering everything and not thinking that I would have been happy if I had not returned, but here I am. So God knows best. Again, surrender comes in. So we can only put in our applications, but God knows best. So also, interestingly, this is one of my physically, it was my desire and my final pilgrimage, so to speak, because I have done almost all yatras that mostly Hindus do. And for example, the Char Dham of the country, I've been to Badrinath, Kedarnath, Gangotri, I've been to Amarnath, I've been to many Jyotirlings. I've been along the western ghats from Mahabaleshwar, Murudeshwar to Udupi and I've been to Rameshwaram. Then even the eastern ghats I've covered many temples, including Pondicherry, Mahabalipuram, been to South Indian temples like Madurai, Tanjavur, Chidambaram, and even in the east, in Bengal, I have been to many, Jyotirlings and Shakti Peeths and many temples. In fact, just to share with you, I have in this life, by the grace of God, I have been to the birthplace of Sri Krishna, of course, which is in Mathura, and the place where he left his body, which is at Balka Tirth in Gujarat. I have also been to Ayodhya, which is both the birth and final resting place of Sri Ram. I have been to the birthplace of Lord Buddha, which is Lumbini in Nepal, and I have been to the place where he attained moksha, which is Bodh Gaya, and also been to the place where he left his body, which is Kushinagar. And I have also been to the birthplace of Lord Mahavira and the place where he left his body. I have been to the birthplace of Master's home in Gorakhpur. And of course, I have also been to that point in Hotel Baltimore in LA where he left his body. So I even I've been on the pilgrimage to the Holy Land in Israel. So I've been to the birthplace of Lord Jesus Christ and the place where he was crucified. So pretty much at a physical level, I have done all pilgrimages, and this was the only one which was, we have to kind of tick everything. So this was the one to be ticked, and I was completely at surrender to the Lord, saying that, I give it up to you completely, and you decide. And as I was returning from the journey, I was saying, God, you have not taken the prana out of this body. So now this body, this prana, this mind, everything belongs to you. Every minute of my life, every breath and every thought, I give it to you. So here I am and sharing with you my experiences. And if you have any questions, please raise your hand and Captain Joy will unmute you. So.
Okay, I'll ask. There's a question from my side.
Okay.
Just throughout your journey, there must be different levels of physical fitness required. So just throw some light on this when we prepare
Okay.
for these kind of,
Absolutely. So
how do we
it's
prepare
the
ourselves?
yatra, overall yatra is a difficult endeavor because it lasts for many days. You have to go not only to a colder climate, but to a higher altitude, then to a foreign country with a foreign language. And it's every day is you have to be moving every day. You have to be living out of a suitcase for like 2 to 3 weeks continuously, and then there's a difficult part of the yatra which requires you to walk or to maybe take a pony and at a very high altitude. So yes, there is a lot of physical tenacity which is required, and a regular physical exercise when you are here is important. Regular pranayam is very, very important. And but as you gain altitude, your parameters will start to change. So if you are running on an SpO2 of like 97 to 99 in Delhi, then as you go on to 15,000 feet plus, your SpO2 comes to between 80 and 85. So when I did my yatra, I did my yatra at an SpO2 of between 80 and 85. So if you remember COVID times, just before, if the SpO2 would fall below 90, people would put you on oxygen, and so much was done. But here, most yatris were traveling. As the altitude raises, you cannot help it. Your SpO2 will fall. Your blood pressure will raise, and your body will be challenged. Your sleep will be disturbed. Sometimes in between, while sleeping, you suddenly get up for breath and you're gasping, and you have to then you have to settle down and go back to sleep. Your appetite will be less, although you must eat on time. Your SpO2 always stays slow, very less, and if you walk a little, you suddenly get breathless very, very quickly. So these are things that you must be prepared for. And but it is the willingness to go to Lord Shiva and just be one with that divine, and that it gives you calmness, it gives you patience, it gives you inner strength, and you can rise over these physical troubles if your inner sense is that you have to do this. So your willingness, your joyful willingness should come in. Also, it is important to whatever guidelines are given to you. If you're going on yatra this year or next year, whatever guidelines people will advise you, for example, on acute mountain sickness, or on having lots of water, having lots of electrolytes, and eating on time, all those should be followed. Don't think that, oh, I have done Amarnath, I have done Kedarnath, I am a marathon runner, I am a physically fit person. Don't challenge your body. Respect your body. Follow the guidelines and go with humility. There was this one person on the yatra who was super excited, who was super energetic, and who had no problem with any of the parameters. But because he was not listening to the advice and not being humbled and was not respecting the body, he was not able to finish the last leg of the yatra, and he had to be actually sent to India for medical help. So do not override, do not think I am this or that. We are all God's children. It is by the power of Lord Shiva and your own love and humility that you are taken there and that you are brought back. So don't override that. Okay, so I can see people raising their hands. Can you please unmute them, Captain
So
John?
much. We'll go ahead with the next one. Ankur, please
Ankur,
go ahead.
Hello,
yes.
hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Jai Guru man, how are you? Thank you for the blissful journey you took with us
Yes.
and your
Can you
pictures you
please
shared.
raise your volume? It's difficult to understand. Please raise your volume.
Okay. Am I audible now, man?
You are muted, dear.
Yeah, Ankur, go
I'm
ahead.
audible. I'm
Speak.
audible now, man.
Yes, please
I'm
boliye.
audible now, man. I'm audible now, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you one question, man. Recently we've been to Arunachala mountain. The journey I took with you. So that is also called as the abode of Shiva. And now you went to Mount Kailash. So I wanted to know, like, what difference you felt between these two journeys, like being to Arunachala and then being to Mount Kailash.
Okay. Okay, so that's a good question. So we were recently, or many of us were in Arunachala a couple of months ago, and if we are spiritually advanced, and if we can perceive the omnipresent Shiva within and around us, then you neither need to go to Arunachala nor you need to go to Mount Kailash. Wherever you are in your space-time combination, if you can go deep within yourself by the grace of the Guru, you will feel Shiva right here, right now. But for most of us, this is not so possible. So therefore, going on pilgrimage is a very good idea, whether it is Arunachala or to Kailash or to any other point. Why? Because in our normal routine, how much time are we able to give to God? But when we are dedicatedly going on a pilgrimage, we have set a specific intent on meeting with communion with God, then most of the time we will try to fix our mind on a particular mantra or on our meditative practice or on an inner prayer towards God. So what a pilgrimage does to us is that it focuses our mind, and the available time and energy is used to commune more with God. Secondly, yes, these places of pilgrimage have a very, very high vibration with so many people coming in and offering their love. So they are very, very powerful places. I would say Arunachala is as powerful as Mount Kailasha. So if you're not able to go to Mount Kailasha, but you have visited Arunachalam, which is called the Kailasha of the south, it is good enough. But important thing is to check with yourself that have you felt the omnipresent Shiva when you were in Arunachala? If not yet, so it is possible to feel it there anywhere and everywhere. If you have not yet, then other pilgrimages hold importance. Also, what happens is as we grow on the spiritual path, and as I said, that I have been on so many pilgrimages, it's like you get addicted to the high vibrations of these places. So I'm like a, God addict, you can say. So I want, what worldly life does to you is it engrosses you in, mundane territory, in so many simple things. So you need to take your time and energy off those. And I like it when I just take my time off these and go into these specific zones where I can feel God's presence more. God is everywhere, but in our worldly life, we are not able to feel Him as much, with as much power and with as much ecstasy as we are able to feel God when we are on pilgrimage. So therefore, because of my own God addiction, I like to go on pilgrimages, but you can feel God right here, right now, with the same intensity if you are an advanced seeker, if you have developed your own meditation. So yes, you had once asked why Kailasha is how is it different from other mountains? Is the Kailash journey is more difficult, the more challenging a task, the more thrilling it is. This is natural human nature. And secondly, in all our Puranas, it has been mentioned as the abode of Ma Parvati and Shiva. And as I said, I want to be home with God. So this is the place on earth. It is like a portal to the infinite. And many people have many varied experiences when they are near Kailasha. People, this is Jaki Rahi Bhavana Jaisi, Prabhu Murat Dekhi Tin Taisi, means जैसे आपका भाव होगा, in Kailasha you will have all those experiences. And it is really, for me, I would say it is sweet as well as worthwhile, although difficult and challenging. Yes, Ekta, I think Ekta is raising her hand.
Ekta, please unmute.
Jai Guru, ma'am. So, first of all, congratulations for visiting Kailash and taking us together on the pilgrimage. My question for you is कि जब आप पहली बार आपने कैलाश पर्वत को देखा तो आपके दिल में क्या आपको कैसा फील हुआ आप इंटरनली आपको कैसा लगा वो फीलिंग्स में आप प्लीज हमारे साथ शेयर कीजिए। और दूसरा क्वेश्चन मेरा ये है कि जब व्हेन इट वाज टाइम टू कम बैक, जब बोला गया कि अब हमने वापस जाना है, तो कैसा लगा? क्योंकि जब मैं इमेजिन करती हूँ, अगर मैं वहां पे आपके साथ होती तो मैं तो शायद वहीं रह जाती, कहीं छुप जाती कि मेरे को मत लेके जाओ। तो कैसा लगा आपको उस समय जब आपको जाना पड़ा और जब आपने पहली बार माउंट कैलाश के दर्शन किए? थैंक यू।
ओके, सो दिस इज अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन। सो ये जो जर्नी है ये काफ़ी क्योंकि हार्ड है, और आपका ध्यान जो है बहुत डेली नुएंसेस पे भी रहना रखना पड़ता है, क्योंकि एवरी डे मॉर्निंग यू हैव टू पैक अप एवरीथिंग, देन यू हैव टू मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट डेस्टिनेशन पे जाके भी बहुत सारा काम होता है, देयर सो मच टू डू, एंड अगेन नेक्स्ट मॉर्निंग यू हैव टू नो रीपैक एंड मूव ऑन. So there are so many physical things कि आपका there are days when your mind would is not so much in the meditative zone as it should have been, as you would have thought. So basically I had thought कि this will be a secluded journey. I will stay inwards. I will talk very less, and I will stay more inside me with Guru and with Shiva. But God has his own plans. Okay, so the first thing that I was made in charge of the food committee, and I had to actually organize food for 50 people 3 times a day for all the 12 days that we were in China. Means I was super busy. Even when we used to reach to the next destination, I would go out into the market with the cooks, and we would buy vegetables, and people would get together and start chopping vegetables. We needed to prepare meal for the night. We needed to get ready for the next morning breakfast, and we had to think about what to pack for the next lunch, because we would always be on the move on the lunch during lunchtime. So I would sleep later than most devotees, and I would wake up earlier than most devotees, because I had to coordinate with the cooks who were from the army, and a team of us who were actually fully involved with that. So why I'm saying this is because I did not have as much time as I had thought initially that I would have, the quietness. So, but God's will is supreme. But that is also a blessing in a different way. So when you are involved with so many nuances, and when the day that we reached Darchan, that day from our kitchen window, supposedly we were supposed to be able to see Kailash, but we were not able to see because it was so cloudy that day. It was raining all the time, and we were, working in the kitchen, and my vision was mostly out of the window. I was trying to see. Now I was saying, please darshan de do, God, please, please reveal yourself to us, and so on. So we were like that. And but interestingly, we did not have a good darshan that day, although we were very near to it. But the next morning, what happened is the next morning, we had thought we had to actually go for parikrama around the mountain, and we did a puja before we had to leave. So again, my altar, with the gurus and the Shiva idol, we used that, and we read the Shiv, the Shiv Strotam was done, and prayers were done. I led everybody in prayer, and we did the arati. But as soon as we finished arati, we saw that the clouds were, shedding away from the view of Kailash from a hotel window. And we were so happy, because it was the thing that we had come for in the first place, and secondly, we were waiting for it from the previous day to reveal itself. And now, just as the puja finished, it was so miraculous and so mystical that the clouds started to lift, and we were able to see that first part of the mountain. So it's not that some lightning flash happens that you see the mountain and suddenly in you a current will flow and something like that mystical will happen. It doesn't happen like that. But there is a joy that wells in you. There is an energy surge that happens. You say, yes, I have to go for parikrama, and that yes, or yes to life, and that really charges you, it recharges you, because already for so many days you have been traveling, so a tiredness starts to accumulate in you. But the moment you see that sight, and you know that you have come here for this, and God reveals himself, yes, it makes you very happy. But mind you, no lightning flashes, and no mystical or magical things happen. But then and then we started our parikrama, and when we started our parikrama, on the way, the first day, in between we had to go 12 to 14 kilometers, and in between it started to rain. In fact, there was a hailstorm also. All of us got wet in that cold weather, in spite of all our protection, all of us got wet when we reached the point which is called Derafuk. And there, first we had to dry ourselves. We have to make sure that we don't fall sick and all. But the moment everything was settled and we came out of the building that we were in, there was Mount Kailash right in front of us. The north face of the Kailash, crystal clear. So after so much of rain and hailstorm and clouds, so a part of us was getting disappointed that, we have come so far and till now we are getting only cloudy darshan of Kailash, and, why is God not revealing himself to us? And so all of us had that feeling. But that moment on that evening, from 5 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. 9:30 p.m. the sun sets. We were right in front of the north face of Kailash, and a few of us actually climbed on a little further to be closer. And there I spent 2 hours meditating, praying, just looking at the mountain. And it was so joyful that I cannot tell you. And we were so, saying to Lord Shiva that, okay, you were challenging us, you were testing us with all the rains, but now you have revealed yourself in your full majesty and grandeur. So, and we were also thrilled. So many of us just kept sitting there and we just kept looking at the mountain. And of course, people will have visions, may not have, may have that inner happiness. So many of us got helped people to have some live darshan. I called my family, made them have a live darshan of Kailash, and so many devotees did that. But spending those 2 hours there, right at the foot of Mount Kailash, was just thrilling and amazing. The weather was cold. The wind was biting cold. We in our all, wearing caps and gloves and dress and everything, but yet none of us wanted to move even one bit from there. We just kept sitting there and watching and looking, and the entire panorama of hills around, and then the setting sun. It was so awesome. It was like we are, in a different loka. This is not normal earth. This is not normal life, that we are, transported into a different zone. And here is the home of my father and my mother. And where else do I want to go? I don't want to go anywhere. That is the feeling that comes. But then as night falls, you know that the body needs protection. And then you have to go inside. And of course, as food in charge, I had to organize for dinner and then next day breakfast and so many other chores that God had given to me. And then then the next day, the weather stayed clear and we had darshan of Kailash from every angle and every face. So initially, God was playing hide and seek with us, but later in the trip, he revealed himself in all his glory and in all the ways. And then after the parikrama finished, the second day of the parikrama is very, very tough. And you go to a height of 18,600 feet. Most people will get breathless. At the highest point, we had the pony and the porter. So whenever I found my body struggling too much, I would sit on the pony and go forward. And when I felt comfortable, I will get down and walk. That way, I was humbly able to respecting my body's demands. And I knew already that I'm functioning at an SpO2 of around 80. So I knew that I cannot challenge it so much that people have to send me back to India or back to the. So, respecting the situation and wisely kind to balance the walking and the pony, we did that. And the descent is also difficult. So overall 21 kilometers you have to cover on the second day, which is very, very difficult. But with the grace of God, everything falls in place. And each moment, those sights are breathless. Those landscapes are like you're walking in a dreamland or you're walking in a painting. And everywhere you look, every corner you can take a picture, but none of the picture will do justice to what you're actually looking at. It's amazing piece of God's nature. And the second day, when we reached to the next destination, again, because it was a long stride, so some people fell sick, and at night, besides when I finished my kitchen duty, then I was woken up again because some devotee was not feeling well. And then again, past midnight, all of these things kept happening, and so every day was so much, there was so much adventure packed into it, and there was no physical comfort. At every point, the journey was challenging. In these 3 days of parikrama, there is no decent toilet, there is no running water, there is no place to take a shower. Even to brush your teeth is a difficulty. Going to the bathroom, going to the toilet is a difficulty. You either use nature or you use dirty toilets. Chinese people have not made any arrangement. So it is very challenging at every level, because food will be also a problem. Everything will be a problem. So, but yet the love, the thrill, the joy, the energy of being at home with Lord Shiva it's priceless. So more the challenge, more the thrill. So then second day, third, so we finished the parikrama, then we went to the lake Mansarovar. We stayed 2 days besides the Mansarovar. The beauty with Mansarovar is that not only can you see the beautiful lake, but you can also see the mountain behind it. So simultaneously you have darshan of Mansarovar and Mount Kailash. And for 2 days we had wonderful darshan in every shade, every color, rising sun, setting sun, starry night. All of that we were able to see. At least I had, interestingly, I felt sick on one of those days. And because I was sick, I was not able to sleep, and I got up at 4 a.m. And 4 a.m. when everybody else was asleep, I went outside the building, and I was under the starry night, and the stars and the stardust, they just filled the sky so much that it is difficult to explain that how you feel when you're in the center of a galaxy. Because in Delhi, you see like 5, 10 stars, 15 stars max. But there it was amazing, amazing. So beautiful. And then answering your question as to how it was when we were leaving. So the last day as we were driving out, Mount Kailash, we saw the east and the north face together. It was so beautiful that none of us wanted to leave. And my heart was really melting inside. I did not want to come back. But the physical reality was also there, because it is not comfortable to be in China. Let me tell you, especially, they don't make it comfortable for you. And and there is this language trouble. You are in a foreign land, and they will treat you suspiciously, and they have weird behaviors and so many other things. Although we were official international guests, still, they have their own quirks. So physically speaking, it is not comfortable to be in China. And even by the lake Mansarovar, again, there is a hotel-like accommodation, but no hot water available and lot of limitations. So with that, simultaneously a part of you says, I want to go back to India, my home, my motherland. But your heart wants to just melt down and stay with Lord Shiva. And all you can do is, all what I did is, I said, Lord, I invite you in my heart, mind, body, and soul. And I take you with me. So that's all I can do. You are in all your majesty, you are here. And I take you in my heart, mind, body, and soul. And I brought him with myself. And so that's what we can. But yes, you're right that you don't want to come back, and your heart melts. But because Yatra is difficult, you want to come. India, there's no place like India on the planet right now. Indian army, Indian people, they sent us off so beautifully. They took care of our meals, they took care of our health. We were literally on a red carpet when we were crossing onto China. They said bye to us, and they said, we are waiting for you as you complete. And when we were coming back, they were there waiting for us with a red carpet again to welcome us Yatris. So being in India in this expedition and coming back to India was also a very, very humbling and beautiful heart experience. There is no country on earth like India, because India is a country with a heart. There is no other country with a heart. And the bhakti bhav, however high a person may be in the army or in the political rung, there is a sense of bhakti to the divine here in India, which is not found most places on planet Earth. So yes, Lord Shiva is there. Again, I was saying to the Lord, you have not taken my prana away from me, so you only decide now what you want of me and from me. I am your child, I am your instrument. So with complete surrender, bringing Lord Shiva with me, I am back on Mother India's soil. And I'm just doing what God wants me to do. That's it. I have no personal ambitions, no personal desires. I have no significant attachments. So I belong to God, God belongs to me. That's it.
Dr. Radhika ji, when you shared before going for this journey that you may not come back, so that had put me in a little shock. Then the inner voice said, "You got a lot to do. You have to come back." So going further on this, I generally when we go for these pilgrimages, when we coming back, after we come back, there is a perspective shift. So I would like to know what kind of perspective shift you experienced after coming back from this yatra.
Okay. So the perspective shift is that of complete surrender. So sometimes you feel you have surrendered completely, but it is not complete. So after this journey, my surrender to the Lord has increased much, much, much more. And of course, there is no scale on which to measure as to how much it was before and now how much it is and how much more is required. So since there is no scale, but in my own heart, I am more humbled. I am more surrendered to the divine, and I am more free. Because why free? Because although I had no ambitions and desires, but I think I am even further freer from any desires and attachments or expectations. So I'm like I feel a happier, freer child of God in myself with no quirks, attachments, and I feel freer. So I think that's the shift in perspective. Yes.
There was a question. Did you have any experience on Mansarovar Lake? You want to add something more to that, to your previous
Okay,
answer?
so there are certain experiences that you have that are very personal that I'm not going to share. But in general, the experiences that I can share with you on the Mansarovar is yes. So the Mansarovar water was cold, and we wanted to have a dip in the Mansarovar. So most of us, in fact, all of us actually, you're not allowed to dip in the water, but they keep buckets and mugs there, so you can fill water from the Mansarovar, and you can take a shower, bring it to your room, or there's a arrangement by the lake where you can take a shower. So we all did that. So firstly, जितना fear था कि वो cold होगा, वो उतना लगा नहीं. It felt gentler upon pouring. It's as if it was kind to us, as if it did not freeze us, and it just felt nice and kind. In fact, it felt very refreshing to take bath in the Mansarovar water. And besides, the vastness of Mansarovar is it helps you to expand your consciousness. Means once you look at the Mansarovar and the Kailash beyond, you don't see yourself as the little body. You see your mind expanding, and as if all of these things are existing in your mind. It's a very subtle, refined experience which you have whenever you are in front of an expansive view. You can have this experience, but more so near the Mansarovar, where you feel that this entire expanse that you behold is actually part of your own awareness. It is not something outside of you. It is an extension or a part of you. So that kind of experience, I've had this experience earlier in Rameshwaram and near Madurai South. I have had this experience, but yes, here also this experience was very, very stark. And it makes you, again, it humbles you to say, to feel yourself as a continuum of all this vast vistas. So it is very, very beautiful. Another experience that I had in Mansarovar was on the starry night, where you feel that so many stars overhead. In fact, in the far distance near Kailash, I could see some starry light. So My logical mind cannot actually fit as to what it was. But as people say, beings come and take a bath in Mansarovar. But a part of logical mind would analyze, was it really so? But yes, I saw the starry night, the Mansarovar, and I saw a few lights near Kailash that night when I was all alone. So that was a beautiful experience in itself. So many small and big experiences you have, but the whole journey is so joyful and powerful that when you come back, it's power. I actually felt the power of the whole pilgrimage when I came back, because earlier I was so occupied. God made sure that I was busy every moment of the pilgrimage. And so, but when I came back, you can feel that entire power. The minute you close your eyes, you can see all those visions in front of you of the landscapes of Mount Kailash, of the water, and of the pure feeling that we had, of the surrender. So when we were in front of the mountain, we surrendered with our heart. And that feeling, when you close your eyes, you can instantly feel back that same sensation of surrender. So it is beautiful, it is wonderful. If I have left everything to God, so I will not say anything. I will not commit my speech to anything, because every minute belongs to God. But let us assume, if I get a chance, if God wants me to go over there again, in spite of knowing the level of difficulty, I would say yes, because it's beautiful. So it is what it is. Okay, so I think we can rest at that. Captain Joy, do we have any other question?
There's something for you. You are amazing, Dr. Radhika. Love you from Maheshwari. And thanks for sharing. Jai Mahadev, Jai Guru from DS. And Samita has put a question. When I bowed to, she shared something. When I bowed to Shivling both at Varanasi and Babaji Waterfall, I started crying. Tears won't stop. I want to know why this happens.
Okay, so because these places are so powerful, what happens is your mental thoughts are rested when you bow down in surrender. What happens is your heart's energy is lifted up to the spiritual eye, and the natural love of the heart and the natural wanting to be one with God comes in the foreground. It is already in us and it is buried in us. But once we bow down in humility, those natural, that love and emotions well up, and the mind's thoughts are rested. Therefore, it comes out in the form of tears. So, and weeping tears for God is natural, it is part of bhakti, and it is good that it comes out. So, you needn't stop your tears from flowing when it concerns God. You can allow as many tears to flow out. It is very natural. Actually, this happens in standing in front of Kailasha, and especially when I was to leave that place, I was so overwhelmed with this bhav, that but there is an undercurrent of joy even beneath this, because we know that actually in truth we are one with God. So allow these tears to flow. These are priceless and precious, and God understands the value of the tears that we weep for him. So it's very normal and natural.
Dr. Radhika ji, is it because it's a sudden expansion of consciousness and you become one with God, or infinite, and those tears of joy they flow?
That is also an aspect. There are two different feelings. One is the welling up of this energy and emotion, which you cry. But when the expansion of consciousness is there, you're more in a still bhav. In that case, during that time, emotions do not well up so much. So these are different expressions of the same infinite energy. So sometimes when you feel one with everything, you are very stilled, but other times you just want to cry and hold on to God. That is when you cry. So both are, different aspects, but yes, both are divine.
From Elango, so grateful, dear Radhika ji. Thank you. Such a wonderful yatra. Blessings to follow your daily sharings, beautiful pictures. And from Sapna, thank you for sharing your yatra with us. That's all for tonight. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
everyone. Thank you so much. I took all yours. I mentally offered all of you all on the group to God and to asked Him to bless you all. So, as always, you're always with me in spirit, and it is a great blessing. I would say I would encourage all those who can to take on this yatra if and when they can, by the grace of God and their own initiative and their own desire. It is worthwhile and it has filled with a lot of blessings. So with that, Om Namah Shivaya, Jai Guru. Thank you,
Yeah. Dr.
everybody.
Radhika ji, Sonia has also shared something. Radhika ji, thanks for sharing such an amazing spiritual experience for people like me. You have made it possible to even think of visiting Kailasha someday. Hope to follow you soon. Om Namah Shivaya. And actually, this is the thought from everyone. And the way you brought it up and presented in front of the group was amazing. And that was fantabulous. It was so organized. And actually, everyone felt that they are every day morning, everybody was waiting for the photographs. In the evening, they were waiting for the photographs to come and, your commentary, what has happened. So,
Right,
everybody was with you.
right.
And that was the beauty of the whole journey.
Yeah.
And
Thank you. I did feel all of you with me in spirit. So thank
and
you again. Har Har Mahadev, as
Har
they
Har
say. Om
Mahadev.
Namah
Thank you.
Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.